All right, looks like we're pretty good. I think we should do this. Let's go. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I hope you're all doing well. I'm Pierre, your host. Thanks for joining me on my stream. Well, today I'm going to again tweak a little bit how I am uploading this stream. I got a new router last week and I've been tweaking it just to get the best quality. And of course, yesterday I was a little greedy and I noticed that it wasn't quite perfect. So I tweaked things back and hopefully today I have found that happy middle ground. So, anyways, like usual, let's start off by going over to the computer and we are going to check out what we did yesterday and then we're going to take it from there. So, what did we do? Actually, it wasn't quite as thrilling as all that. I basically put some shadows on the background. We had 2 coats of this red and then we added some darker and then some lighter shadows to our background. So that is basically what we did. Not that complicated. And today I was thinking about going ahead and doing some splattering. But before that, when I walked into the studio, I noticed that the lighter shade of red that I used, you can't see it at all. All you can see is this darker shading, but not the lighter one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off by going back and adding this lighter shadow because I think it just adds so much to the richness of the background with these variations. So I'm going to go do that. It's going to take probably less than a few minutes. And then after that, we will pull this canvas down, put it on the ground, and I'm going to splatter. I'm going to start off, I think, maybe light with some black. And then on top of that, I'm going to put some gold. And like that, we'll leave it to dry overnight. And we'll tackle more details tomorrow. Eventually, what I'm planning on doing is cutting this canvas in 2 and putting it vertically as a diptych. So that's what my plans are. In the meantime, let's get to the red paint, which is right here. And this red paint has a tendency to go towards the orange. And I did add just a little bit of black to make it lighter than what I had here, where I put quite a bit of black to it. Now I might just go with the orange straight out of the can. Like that, I know that when it dries, it darkens. But anyways, if I do it like that, I know at least we will have that variation of shading. So let's get to work and stop talking so much maybe. And I'm not going to need all that much. So I'm just going to just grab like a little palette right here. Anything will do. This, for example, will be just fine. And maybe just a little more, though. I don't think I'll need all that much. No big deal. I can always put it back in its can, in its jar. There we go. And so since it is awfully damp and cold in the studio, and I wear scarves or my beret or a hat or anything to be warm, I also hooked up my microphone, my little tie mic, which I usually just put on my t-shirt. I just hooked it up on this kind of bright green thing. So hopefully now it'll always be at the same height and it won't rub against my shirts and whatnot, scarves and whatnot. So little by little, just tweaking everything, especially for winter time, which I guess we're getting into quite quickly here. Doesn't quite feel as cold as it did yesterday or a few days ago, I must say. unless I'm just getting used to it. I guess also it depends if I take a shower before and wash my hair and show up in the studio with my hair damp. That also adds a little bit to the coldness. Okay, this looks pretty good. I'm not, of course, going to be painting. I'm just going to be dabbing in the paint here. I'm just going to try it in one little area right here. Just a little bit. Okay. I was afraid it was going to be too light, too orangey, but it doesn't seem to be that way. So I'm also wondering if this is the right brush to do that with as well. Let me just take a look and see what are my other choices. Yeah, I think maybe I'm going to just go from this kind of a rectangular brush to a round one and try it with this round brush instead. I'll just put this to soak for a few seconds. While it's soaking, I guess I can go over to camera number 1 here and get this ready to follow the process. I'm going to start in that upper left-hand corner and just work my way around the canvas very quickly. There we go. This should do it. That looks about right. Okay, let me just try that. Just going to step back for 1 second, take a look. So I'm just going to add a little bit more of this red paint. It seems like, looks like it was just a little bit too liquid for the job. So I'm just going to add it and rework it. Make sure everything is nice and homogeneous. That looks pretty good. There we go. So I'll switch cameras and then we can tackle this. And actually, I guess I'll put some music on as well, since this is not all that exciting. I'm going to put music by some friends of mine. Jago is on the violin, Jacek is on the guitar, and Lucien on the drum. And you can find more details of these guys down in the description. So, at least with these guys, I don't have to worry about copyright on YouTube for the music. So that's pretty awesome. So let me just get the music going and switch cameras. And let's tackle this. There we go. I know that it will darken as it dries, so it will definitely blend in better once it's all dry, because there with the camera, I'm sure there's the shine of the outdoor lights, isn't there? Probably. That's what it usually does. But anyways, so we got this first part done. Thank you for the music, gentlemen. I'm just going to stop for a few seconds. There we go. I appreciate it. Always nice to have music while you're painting. And, yep, let me get this, put this aside. Rinse off my paintbrush here. And now what? Now we said we were going to get into the splattering. All right, a little bit of finger painting here. Very good, wherever it starts to drip. No big deal. There you go. Nothing more fun than finger painting. It's true that I did do this very quickly. But that's the way it goes. No problem, no big deal. Okay, this is kind of fun. There we go. Actually, it's so much fun I can't even stop. Okay, I gotta stop. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, so what am I gonna do? I'm gonna bring this sucker down, put it on the ground, get the black paint, then the gold. So let's get the canvas ready to be brought down, which means take out the staples. There we go. I'll get the canvas ready, and then I will get the paint ready. And this will be a relatively short stream. So, there, little staples over here, and over here. I always put in my staples kind of sideways. I don't put them in like this. I put them in crooked, so they're very easy to pull off. Actually, there's only one side of the staple that's in the canvas, and the other side of the staple is in the wall. So it doesn't, it can barely hurt the canvas as well. So I'll just grab some paint here and fill in where the staple left some white marks. There we go. Okay, very good. Very nice so far. Now, we said we would get the paint ready. So, let me get rid of this. There we go. And what am I going to do that in? I'm going to do that in something a little bit bigger. What brush am I going to use as well? Okay, I'm not exactly sure. I need to think this out for 1 second. Because I don't want a huge amount. I don't want to cover the whole things to splatter all over the place. I want to keep it kind of restricted in a nice curved shape as well. So I don't want my paint to be too liquid. Keep it nice and opaque. And yet it has to be thin enough that it will splatter and not just go down like a big blob. So I got to figure all that out. So I might as well get the black paint out right away. There we go. And get this ready. So I didn't decide what brush. I have to decide what brush because that will decide the container I'm going to use for the black paint. And I think I'm going to go with this brush. Let me try it here on the floor first. Oof. Okay, we'll see. I guess I'll do it in this. Get the paint ready in there. And I'm going to put quite a bit of black paint in there. I can always put it back in the jar afterwards if I don't use it all up. And now I have to get the right amount of water in there as well. So first of all, I'm going to just clean off my materials. There we go. So we did say a little bit of water here. And I'm just going to mix all this together. There we go. This is going to take a few minutes because it's crucial that I get this to be the right consistency. Okay, I can see that my hair is going to be a pain in the ass, so I'm going to just quickly get it, tie it up. There we go. Get these glasses out of the way. There, I'll do it the Japanese samurai style. There we go. Very good. Okay, this looks pretty good. Still very liquid. I usually say liquidish, but I'm not really sure that's an English word. Liquidish. I should look it up. So what is this going to do? I would assume this is going to look pretty good. So I'm going to put this aside. And now I'm going to get the gold paint ready as well. And I was thinking definitely, so what brush am I going to use for the gold? That is a good question. Now I have a couple of larger brushes here. Or this one. Okay, I'm going to try the larger brush. I'm going to try out this larger brush first. And then what am I going to mix the gold paint in. I need a little bit larger palette. I'm going to go back here in my kitchen area. Yes, back here I have some plastic paper plates, and I think that will do the trick. So let's get the gold paint. Where is that? I think I have it down here. I got a couple tubes. I ordered some more, but I haven't heard from the store yet. I love gold, so I use it quite a bit. And here I'm going to make a fairly large quantity as well, because this is a large painting. And to be honest with you, I've never splattered gold paint before, so I am a little bit nervous. Not sure if it's going to work the way I have in my mind. I hope it will. And I'm also thinking about the paintbrush. I mean, that's what I have to coordinate. Paintbrush, the strokes, and the consistency of the paint. It has to be of the right consistency for the whole thing to work. So that's why I'm thinking and hesitating, because since it is a splatter, obviously I have it has to go down and it has to be perfect the first shot. So I can't rework it or erase it or whatever. So that's why I'm taking my time to think things out. So, see, I'm not totally convinced this is going to be the right brush. This is the brush I use to lay down my gesso usually when I work on a large scale. And since these are going to be long, big splatter, I figured this would be the right thing. The only thing that bothers me is that, like most brushes, when you do house painting, all the paint gets caked up in that last half inch between the hairs and the wood. And it's pretty stiff. And mine here as well. I've been using this for years. And it is pretty stiff in that last half inch. Anyways, I'm rambling on. And what I should be doing is just getting the paint ready. Got to be a man about it. There, just a little bit of water. And I'm going to do like with the black paint, just mix everything together to get the right consistency of this paint. I mean, this paint that I have in mind is basically going to be what I considered a japonaiserie, influenced by Japanese art. I've done quite a few paintings, including my mandalas, that have to do with that. Considering that my last painting was more or less kind of politically involved, this one is going to be more, I don't know what. I should be quiet. Just concentrate on what I'm doing here. And actually, I'm going to even add a little more gold from this tube, which is slightly different color. Then I'll blend both of them together. So I'll just switch cameras here and kind of show you what we're doing over here with this gold paint. Just kind of just working it all over. Now it is blended, but it looks, again, I want it to be kind of liquidish, if that word exists, but I want it to stay opaque as much as possible as well. So, and since I've never splattered this gold paint before, not exactly sure what is the right consistency for that task. I am just going to dip my brush in some water one more time. And some clean water. There we go. Okay, this is going to go rather quickly as well because there's no procrastinating. At one point, you just got to go and go for it. That's why I'm trying to get everything ready in advance. So once everything is ready, all we have to do is just execute. Okay. So this looks like it's ready to go as well. I'll just put this down here. Black paint is there. Let me get the black paintbrush ready as well. Get the excess water out of it. Since it was in a jar of water. There we go. Get that ready. What else? I'm going to put the canvas down, put a couple of drop cloths to cover the two sides that I don't want any splattering on. So, move everything back. I will get this camera ready because everything is going to take place on the ground. So that is done. So, it's like I got some black paint right in my gold. Damn it. I'll get that out right now. Good thing I noticed it. There we go. Okay, so once again, I have to think all this out and then think of the cameras as well. So one camera is on the floor. That's very good. And then I'm going to just pull this one down. Okay. So what can I do for that? I can do the double camera type thingy, which is right like that. And okay. So I'm just going to switch over to camera number one as I pull this down. There we go. Very good. So I'm going to step now back in that room. I'm going to go back in here and get my drop cloths. There we go. I have two of them that I use regularly for my splattering. So I will put this one on this side over here. Just like that. Apparently it's not going to be long enough. No big deal. There you go. I have another one right here. And I think I can cover it like that. There we go. I'll bring this guy down below since all the action is on the floor. And, well, maybe I can bring this up a little bit. Okay. So I'll come back to this double cameras. Hopefully we can get everything together like this. It doesn't have to be exact. I will cheat a little bit when it's all dry by adding black or gold wherever it needs to be. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Let me just get my black paint together here. Just gonna dip the brush just a little bit. And rework this. Actually, I want the black paint to be kind of like a background to the gold. So, I am going to switch again cameras. Go completely to number 1. And I'm going to well, believe it or not, that is exactly what I was hoping for. Okay, so far the gods of the black paint are with me. And you know what? I am just going to add, there we go, just a little guy right there. There we go. Okay, so that is for the black paint. Now, am I going to be as lucky using that larger brush? I will come back to the dual cameras here so I can think this out. I'll even bring this up so we can see what's going on over here. And you know what? I am so nervous about this. What I am going to do is that I am going to go back to my little kitchen area way back there. I am going to go back to my kitchen area, which is back there, and I am going to wash my black paintbrush, which I'm going to use since the results of the black paint was just what I was looking for. Hopefully with the same brush, I will get the same result with the gold, rather than chancing this other brush, which I was hesitant from the beginning. So let me just, where am I here on the computer? I'm already in the kitchen area, okay. So I am going to use a little soap and water and definitely try to get all the black out of this brush. And I'm actually going to do this several times. Not going to want to take any chances. And like I say, all the paint accumulates down by where the hairs and the wood match. So I'm going to be brutal. And I'm actually going to do it a third time. Now I am sure this third time will do it. Get all the black out at the most profound, deepest level of these hairs. There we go. Okay, I just wanted to get the gold paint. Wanted to get the gold paint out of that brush, out of the bigger brush first. Okay, so just a little dab of water. Rework this gold paint. Maybe switch cameras again. There we go. Come back to this for the switching of the gold. Okay, that looks pretty good. What happened here? I didn't switch cameras? I guess I didn't. Okay, sorry about that. Thinking of like 6 things at the same time, so it's not that obvious. And what am I going to do? I want to bring this camera number 1. So I'll move this over here. And I'm going to bring camera number 1 back to its original place. And I'm going to bring it down and pull it back so you can see the gold going down on the canvas. I'll bring this guy back over here a little bit, I guess. Okay, so let's go for it. I'm going to switch cameras again to number 1. Well, that is going down pretty nicely. Okay, looks pretty good. I just want to get a little more on the base here. Just like that. And maybe, there we go. So, how does that look? So I hate to say it, but I think it looks great. This is kind of exactly what I was looking for. I'm a little bit embarrassed of saying that, not very modest of me. But it's not bad at all. Now I am going to take this guy off. There we go. And I did say I would cheat, so that's what I'm going to do right now. There we go. And what about over here? How does this look? It looks like it ended kind of abruptly. So, yep, right over there. Just ended a little abruptly right over here, so I will step over like this. And there we go. Just add a little bit. So it ends more with a splatter. So, very good. I'm going to pull camera number 2 back in its usual spot. Bring him back up as well. And so that is basically it. There's not much I can do anymore except let this dry. So I guess this is going to be the conclusion. I am going to just kind of wash my paintbrushes when I'm done. So I'm going to just come back to the computer here. There we go. So a nice haircut, whatever. So anyway, so that is our day of splattering, all done. And tomorrow we will tackle this by adding some flowers or little explosions, some more splattering. And like I said, we're going to put it vertically, cut it in half, make a diptych out of it. So once again, I want to thank you all for joining me, and I hope you will join me tomorrow. What day are we tomorrow again? Tomorrow is Thursday, so tomorrow we'll be in French. Whoa, these weeks are going by awfully quickly, aren't they? Christmas is what, in a week from today? So I don't know what the streaming is going to be like next week. I know that means my son is on vacation starting Friday. Oh boy, Xbox One, here we come. So there's going to be a lot of battles going on in the home. You can just see my son and his friends. But anyways, that's always fun. So I'm going to, again, okay, I'm blabbing on and on. So once again, thank you very much. Join me tomorrow to brush up on your French. We'll be here at 9 a.m. like usual, Eastern Time. I want to thank you once again. I'm going to leave you like usual with my schedule. And even though the schedule might change quite a bit next week, but I'll keep you up to date on that. And I'm going to say like usual, ciao mes amis.